Hello everybody! Welcome back to another thrilling film as we explore the lives of some of Hollywood's most famous celebrities. Today, we're discussing Elisabeth Shue, whose name immediately conjures up images of the 1980s and 1990s, thanks to her iconic performance in Leaving Las Vegas and her charming character as the girl next door in The Karate Kid. However, what if I told you that her story is considerably more complex? You've probably never seen or heard of Elisabeth Shue before, but we have rare pictures and unpublished stories about her. You won't believe what we're going to expose about her life, so stay tuned until the very end. To begin, let me ask you, which 1980s movie star was your favorite? Elisabeth Shue was the ultimate on-screen crush for a lot of us. Whether she was portraying a harsh, multifaceted character or a charming adolescent, she had this amazing ability to light up the screen. Elisabeth was born in Wilmington, Delaware, on October 6, 1963, and came from a family that wasn't exactly Hollywood aristocracy. Her father was a lawyer and real estate developer, and her mother was employed at a bank. However, Elisabeth was destined for greatness even as a young child. Did you know that as a child, she was a complete tomboy? She played soccer for an all-boys squad and was the only girl. We have rare pictures from her early years that demonstrate her vivacity, and it's the kind of daring energy she brought to her parts. Don't stop watching, these images are absolutely stunning. What was the turning point in Elisabeth Shue's career? Let's go back to the 1980s before we get to that. When Elizabeth played Ollie Mills in The Karate Kid in 1984, it was her big break. Despite being just 21, she quickly became a fan favorite due to her chemistry with Ralph Macchio. Those scenes at the beach? Superb! Elisabeth may be seen laughing and having fun with the cast in these uncommon behind-the-scenes pictures from the set. Even when the cameras weren't filming, her inherent charm was evident. You might not be aware of this though, Elisabeth was doing more than just performing in films at the time. She also starred in advertisements for De Beers, Diamonds, and Burger King. Talk about being everywhere. She gained recognition thanks to her early performances, and we have some unique photos from those advertising campaigns that will transport you back to the 1980s. Elisabeth became well known as her career flourished. She played Chris Parker, a babysitter enmeshed in a crazy night of mayhem, in the 1987 film Adventures in Babysitting. Because she was hilarious, approachable, and completely badass, fans adored her in this character. One of the rare set photographs we discovered features her posing with the actors in their bizarre 80s attire. Are you curious about a fun fact? Elisabeth nearly declined this position because she was a Harvard student. Yes, she was balancing a Hollywood career with schooling, but her time at Harvard was much more than simply books. It helped her develop into the considerate actor she is today. Don't go anywhere because we'll be talking more about her college years later in the video. Was there ever a time when Elisabeth Shue's career might have ended? Let's go on to 1988. Elisabeth and Tom Cruise co-starred in Cocktail. She proved she could compete with one of Hollywood's biggest actors in her role as Jordan Mooney. She and Tom are seen rehearsing their well-known dance sequences in these rare set images, and I can assure you that their chemistry was sizzling. However, Elisabeth's life wasn't always simple. Her family had a devastating catastrophe at this time. During a 1988 family trip, her older brother William died in a terrible accident. Elisabeth was deeply affected by this loss and withdrew from the limelight to mourn. It's a heartwarming reminder of how close Elisabeth and her brothers were, and we have a rare picture of them from happier times. Her career might have ended at this point, but Elisabeth's fortitude kept her continuing. Watch to find out how. She recovered. Elisabeth had become a household name by the late 1980s. She made her sci-fi debut as Jennifer Parker in Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3. Fun fact, she took the position of Claudia Wells, an actor who was unable to return for personal reasons. We have some rare behind-the-scenes photos of Elisabeth wearing those futuristic clothes on, filming alongside Michael J. Fox, and she brought great heart to the character. However, this is when the intriguing part begins. Elisabeth took a big chance in 1995 when she decided to leave Las Vegas. She portrayed Sarah, a prostitute who develops feelings for Nicolas Cage's character, a disturbed alcoholic. She received an Oscar nomination for this portrayal, which was a complete change from her typical girl-next-door roles. Behind-the-scenes pictures of Elisabeth getting ready for this demanding role were discovered, and they demonstrate her level of dedication. Are you curious about her character development? We're going to dive into it next, so keep an eye on that. What was the process by which Elisabeth changed into Sarah for Leaving Las Vegas? She talked to actual people to learn about their challenges while studying the position. Her performance was unvarnished, heartfelt, and unforgettable. She was praised by critics and received honors from the Los Angeles Film Critics Association and the Independent Spirit Awards. We have unique pictures of Elizabeth on the red carpet at the 1996 Oscars, looking gorgeous. Even more amazing, though, is how she maintained her modesty in the face of all the accolades. She has discussed in interviews how this role altered the way she approaches acting. It was about telling stories that had value, not just about getting famous. Make sure to stay tuned for more, since these pictures and stories reveal a side of Elizabeth that you don't frequently see. Let's discuss why Elizabeth Shue remains a legend before we conclude. She is still performing at the age of 61, using her grace and talent to inspire younger generations. She has demonstrated her ability to do everything from the Karate Kid to The Boys. You can get a peek of her amazing journey through the rare images and unpublished stories we've shared. Give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends about it if you enjoyed it. Remember to stay tuned to the very end to see an incredible extra photo from Elizabeth's most recent project. I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.